carrots are a popular vegetable. They're a little bit sweet. They're a root vegetable and they grow in the ground. We can cook them, we can steam them, we can grill them, we can roast them. Today we're going to eat them raw because we're eating them in a salad. So I have carrots. This is about, I'd say about 4 to 5 cups of carrots. And on the information that Amelia has for you, it tells you what a serving size is of a carrot. On the bottom of this picture in the smaller print, it tells you that 1 cup of shredded carrots is equal to 2 carrots, okay? So if you're not sure how much you're working with, and 1 cup of sliced carrots is about 3 medium carrots. Every day we should be eating fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables should constitute half our plate. So if you've looked at the Fit 5 that Special Olympics has shared with you, or you look at the My Plate demonstration picture, half of that plate is fruits and vegetables. So this is a way that we can get the fruit and the vegetables together because we're going to put some raisins in our carrot raisin salad. So as I said, these carrots, you can grate a carrot. You can put it into a salad shooter if you like technology and have the salad shooter slice of your carrots just like this. Or if you're looking for a quick tip, you can actually buy them like this. So any way that you get them, they're still raw. They are not cooked, right? So they're giving us lots of fiber. They're crunchy and they have a high water content. They also hydrate our body. So we're going to use our carrots. Here's my bowl. When I make my recipe, I like to do my liquid ingredients first because they're going to be the dressing. And once I get my liquid ingredients mixed up, then what I do is I add my carrots and I dress my salad. So I'm going to just check my recipe because I don't have any of you live here to tell me if I forget something. So I'm going to keep that on the side there. I also have a lemon. So we've got a lemon, we've got some raisins, and we've got some walnuts. All of these foods are bringing vitamins. We've got vitamin C, we've got potassium, and we've got from the walnuts, omega-3 fatty acids, which are really good for our heart. And we have protein and we have fiber. So all of these delicious ingredients are going into our salad. When I work with a lemon or an orange, I always wash it first because even though you might think that we're just going to squeeze the juice out for our dressing, we might have something on the skin. Could be bacteria, could be a little dirt. These days in the grocery store, it could be COVID because that comes out when people walk past or cough, and if they're not wearing a face mask or they have something on their hands, it gets on the fruit. So I washed the lemon when I prepared all of our ingredients, and I washed my hands just before I started. So we always want to be conscious about that, especially at this time. So I'm going to just get my lemon ready. I'm going to slice it. I had a lemon available, so I'm going to just pop out the pits. You can use lemon juice from a bottle. If you don't have a fresh lemon, no worries. You could substitute lime juice. And if you're not a fan of either of those, you can go ahead and substitute a little squeeze of orange. So there we go. This guy has a lot of pits. Look at all that. So I take them out and there we go. Okay. So I'm just going to squeeze in my lemon. And this recipe is going to take about a tablespoon. If I do the lemon first, I could pull out all those seeds I missed because look at that. I still missed quite a few. Let me get those seeds out of there. Okay. We don't need any lemon seeds in our salad dressing. Okay. Oops, there goes one more. Okay, so it's only a tablespoon of lemon juice. So I do these recipes so frequently, I'm really good at eyeballing. But there you go. So that's a tablespoon right there. And if you're unfamiliar, I'm just going to reach over here and grab a tablespoon. Because I want to remind you that a tablespoon is not something that we pull out of the drawer. This is a true tablespoon measure. This is a true teaspoon measure. Notice they're different. There are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So it's quite a difference if you make a mistake when you're measuring. Might be too tart. Might be too salty. Okay, so we're going to do our honey next. I'm gonna grab I pre-measured my honey. I'm gonna put my honey in there. This is 1/4 cup of honey. And we got a lot of carrots going in there. So honey is a natural sweetener. It still is a form of sugar, so we don't put too much. And I'm reaching for my olive oil. Ooh, careful not to spill. There we go. Put the olive oil there. It's 1/3 cup of olive oil. Mix that in there. Oops, put that there. And then I need a little apple cider vinegar. So I need 3 teaspoons of that. So here I come to my teaspoon measure. This is apple cider vinegar. A little bit of that. Uh-oh, feels a little stuck. I got a little stickiness on my hands. Our first snafu is I can't get the apple cider vinegar on. Here we go. Okay. Always use a dish towel. It gives you a better grip. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 teaspoons in there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we have it. And that's our dressing. So we're going to mix that up. Then we're going to add, mix that up. It doesn't mix very well because the honey is really thick and dense, but you do the best you can, and then when you add in your carrots, it's going to help mix it better because the carrots are going to absorb some of that. Looks pretty good. Okay. Mix that up. Next, we'll put our carrots. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. So I want to make sure I coat those carrots. This is a big bowl of carrots. Carrots are an excellent source of vitamin A. And vitamin A is important for our eyes. 2 carrots have about 200% or twice as much vitamin A as you would need in a day. So they really are a powerhouse for vitamin A. The orange color comes from the carotenes, which is a precursor to vitamin A, and that's how we get so much vitamin A from the carrots. It's important for our vision, especially our night vision. As we get older, our night vision tends to decline, and so if we have a diet rich in vitamin A, it's very helpful. Okay, now that I've got that mixed really well, next I'm going to add my raisins. That gives a little bit of fiber and potassium, lots of really good things, magnesium. Mix that right in there. Okay. I will tell you that after this salad sits for a couple of hours in the refrigerator, the flavors blend really nicely and the raisins absorb a little bit of the moisture. Next go the walnuts. You can use a chopped walnut. You can make them a little smaller. You can skip the walnuts if you're not able to eat nuts. You can use a different nut. You can use an almond. You can try some different things with your recipes. Once you make it the first time and you know what the texture is like, you can substitute or you can experiment. That's a great thing about cooking. You make a mistake, you can eat it. It's really fun. Okay, so this is our finished product. There we go. The vegetables do get a little bit more tender as they sit. They absorb the flavors of the dressing. So I always like to make it and let it refrigerate for a couple of hours. You could eat it fine, just like this. It's going to be really crunchy. If you wanted to really experiment, you could cook your carrots a little by roasting them and then turn them into a salad. So there's many ways that you can work with carrots. And you can vary from the recipe, and as I said, you know what you like, and we encourage you to do things in different ways. always focused on getting more fruits and vegetables.
Today's nutrition code word is carrot. CARROT, carrot, for carrot raisin salad. Remember to log your code word today.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the ingredients, right? So we used honey. Honey is a natural sweetener. It is considered a sugar. So when we're reading our labels, if honey is added to something, it would be counted as added sugar. Okay. The American Heart Association says we should limit our sugar intake to about 6 teaspoons a day. Okay. So 6 teaspoons is 24 grams. We had a quarter of a cup of honey, and I'll just let you know that this was 4 tablespoons. Okay. So that was 2 days worth of our sugar intake. But we're not going to eat this whole big bowl all at once. So if we ate a cup of our salad, that would be just fine. Okay, so it's really learning about how to keep our sugar intake from being too much. So we can use a little bit of honey, and that would be just fine. We used some olive oil. Olive oil is a healthy fat. Even though it's a healthy fat, it doesn't mean we could have as much as we want, okay? It's a monounsaturated fat. It's better than having butter or processed hydrogenated margarines, but fat is still something we need to limit in the diet, and we want our diet to be about 25% fat, and we would limit our total fat intake as a total of our calories. So olive oil is the first choice, but just use a little. Olive oil is not good for frying foods. Olive oil gets very hot very quickly. So if you try to make French fries in a vat of olive oil, the oil would catch fire before you would be ready to be making your French fries. So you have to be really careful. It's not for frying. It's great for making salad dressings. It's great for lightly sauteing foods, but it's not something that we want to use when we deep fry. We use some raisins. This was one of my favorite foods growing up. Sunmade is a company that was out there when I was a kid, and our raisins are an excellent source of potassium. Potassium is a mineral, and it helps our muscles work. So when we have Gatorade, for example, Gatorade usually has some glucose in it, it has some sodium, and it has some potassium. So this is a natural form of potassium. If you have a snack of raisins when you're exercising, that replaces when you sweat too much and your muscles are working very hard, you lose potassium. And so raisins are a good source for that. Our next ingredient was walnuts. And I did mention earlier that walnuts are an excellent source of protein. It's a plant protein. So when we talk about plant-based diets and we talk about how do we get protein on a plant-based diet, walnuts are an excellent source of protein. The type of oil in a walnut is an unsaturated fat, like our olive oil. This comes from an olive, which comes from a plant, and this comes from the walnut, which is part of the walnut tree. So these unsaturated fats are much better for our hearts. So we've got 2 healthy kinds of fats in our salad, and we're just using a little, so that's great. The last ingredient you may be familiar with, vinegars we often use in dressings, especially Italian dressing, is a little oil and vinegar, so our oil, our vinegar. The apple cider vinegar is not as pungent or acidic as the white vinegar. So I would say it's a little sweeter, but sweet is not a word I associate with vinegar. But if you were comparing just those two, it might be a little milder. So that's that.